How's it going, everyone? This is Altaurus again. Trying to do another draft here. Just got done with 8-4 prior to this one and went 2-1. So one of the Sultai Abzan deck, or Sultai Splashing Storm, I guess. But let's move on to this pack. The best cards easily are Teamer Sabertooth and Kolaghan Storm's Fury. I've had a chance to play with both cards in real life, and they're both very strong. If you're able to untap with this creature, he's very hard to deal with. Lets you replay token makers and lets you swing through and block favorably a lot of times, so it's also really good against removal. But this guy I think is just better, I guess. You sort of want to be aggressive in this format because there's a lot of dirtily Abzan decks and Sultai decks and stuff like that. So I think having a dash Anthemer is just better. He's flying too, so he blocks a lot of the creatures that normally close out games. Let's see, trying to sort of stay on color here. I think Reach of Shadows would be the pick, though Sandstep Outcast is very good. Yeah, I think those would be the two picks that I would think. Grim Contest is good, but you sort of need a specific deck to make it work really well, and I don't think I'm willing to go into that deck with my first pick right now. And I don't think it's enough better than Reach of Shadows to switch plans. Sandstep Outcast, on the other hand, I would be willing to pick this over Reach of Shadows because this is a pretty aggressive 3-drop. It goes well with a lot of strategies in the format, and it combos well with Kolaghan. And one of these colors can be your splash color as well, so I think I'm going to go with Sandstep Outcast, actually. Picking early drops early on opens up a lot of options later on because there's a lot of really strong late cards, not late cards, but expensive cards. So I like to try to stay as cheap as possible early in the draft and pick up strong cards later because there's a lot of them in the format. Here, let's see. Nothing super crazy. Grimag Angler is pretty strong. He goes really well in decks that like to trade 1-for-1 or Sultai decks. And if we're black-white or black-red, those decks normally like to trade 1-for-1. So I don't think there's really anything else crazy here that I would like. The Monk isn't bad, but Prowess needs a lot of work. It needs a deck built around it to make it function properly. We could take the mana fixing here too, but it's not really matching any of our colors. You could take it as a pick later just to shore up weaknesses with your mana later on, but I think taking something that might stay in our colors is a little better here. Until we get more of an idea of what's going on and where the picks are taking us, then we can start taking mana fixing to splash later or help our deck where it's going. Not a fan of any of this stuff, really. Hooded Assassin is usually just a 2-3. I found it's pretty hard to get his second ability to work, though in a deck like Mardu that likes to swing in with tokens to get raid active, he could actually be pretty good. Collateral Damage, I don't think it's very good. It's always going to be, not always, but 90% of the time you're going to 2-for-1 yourself or 2-for-2. Like, it's very hard to get card advantage. I think I'm going to go with Abzan Sky Captain here, though. Having a flyer and something that pumps your tokens or any tokens that you have earlier on is usually pretty good. Arc Bond. Haven't had a chance to play with this yet. Let's see. Each other creature, each player. Wow. That's pretty good. It's pretty much a wrath if you use it correctly. Well, it's probably the pick here too. I haven't had any experience with this card actually, so I couldn't tell you how good it is. But to me, it seems like it could be pretty useful teamer or something that likes to swing in with a lot of big creatures, you could pretty much just wipe the board. And if you know you have this in your hand, you can keep your creatures back in your hand as well, and sort of use it like balance. I think the pick here is Harsh Sustenance. Mardu Scout would be my second pick, and it's possible it's right, but I think removal is just enough better. I know we're trying to be aggressive here, but right now we really only have Culligan that's pushing us towards that. Sandstep Outcast is somewhat aggressive, but I think with the Outcast and just being in white in general, I think Harsh Sustenance is very good. And it's normally better than Douse and Gloom as well. So if you're already in the colors, and Douse and Gloom, I think you can first pick pretty easily. So I'm going to pick Harsh Sustenance here. And wow, that is a late Aven Surveyor. That's really surprising to me. That's a card you can first pick pretty easily. It's one of the best blue commons in the format. And seeing that open means that we might be in the wrong colors here. That should not be going, pick 6. So I think we should probably just go with the land here. I think we're too far. I haven't really seen any other good blue other than the multiple whiskaways, but we didn't really capitalize on that. So probably the person to our left is going to be pretty heavy in blue anyways. So switching now and then going into pack 2 is going to be pretty rough on us. Wow, Shotgun Dragon. The question here is, Battle Rage isn't that great if you're not in green. At least that's my experience with it. It can be good with Goreswine, but Goreswine's pretty fragile in itself, so trying to bank on Goreswine being able to double strike for 8 just isn't that great of a bet. So if I'm not in green, I normally don't play the Battle Rage, and Teamer sort of gives away that you should be in Teamer if you're going to play that. Shakma Dragon is probably the pick here. It goes well with Culligan, and wow, that's awesome. Heel Cutter's pretty late. This card I think is really underrated. I've seen it go late in a lot of drafts, and I just don't understand why. It's not a card that I'm normally going to first pick unless the first pack is really devoid of red, or there's just not any like premium removal or bomb card. I might go with Goblin Heel Cutter and just sort of try to get there with it. But we're already pretty not deep in red, but we're enough committed to it that it's really okay taking Heel Cutter there. Could go with the Rune Mark. I'm not a big fan of Rune Marks. There's a lot of ways to get 2 for 1 with it, as with most enchantments. So maybe just collateral damage here, and we can side it in against a deck that doesn't have a lot of tricks, or is trying to be too tricky, sort of given, because a lot of people don't play around collateral damage. Actually, I like to pick up something like this because I've been blown out multiple times by people who just open up broken enchantments. Anyone who opens up most of the sieges, any of the ascendancies normally take over the game, so I like it here enough more than random. I'm not going to play a second one. I like it here enough more than a random. Oh wow, that's awesome. I keep getting distracted. I'm going to play it more this over a random 2-drop than I would any of the other cards. So a 2-drop is pretty easy to replace later on in the draft. There's a good number of okay ones, and that one's not anything special. A Smoldering Ifrit, so yeah, anything. Anyways, what I'm getting at is I think this is a good card to pick up just in case. Okay, going into this pack, we open up a Saga Mauler, which is the 2 colors we're not playing, which is pretty unfortunate. That card's very good. Pretty much a snap pick if you're in either one of the colors, really. Abzan Falconer is probably the pick here. Core Chief's good, not better than Falconer. Armament Core is good. We already have some late drops, and we're not in green, so I'm a little hesitant to splash for this card when we already have another good uncommon that's on color. There's a lot of cards that could come back to us here. I wouldn't be mad picking up a K's, a Leaping Master, Horde Chief, Skull Hunter, Attendance, even just picking up a 1-up Rush Up Battle that we could use against a slower deck might not be bad either. So, but I think the Falconer is the easy pick here. We could pick up pretty below average Morph Creature. I think black is going to be our splash color, or at least that's what it's looking like right now. So I'd be more inclined to pick up a Valley Dasher, or probably a Smite the Monstrous, actually. Yeah, I think Smite's the pick here. This guy's pretty replaceable, and you only want to do that if you're going real deep into aggressive strategies, and I don't know if I want to commit to that since we have 2 dragons in our deck. So I'm going to go Smite. It's good removal, and it hits most of the creatures that I want to kill anyway, so. And Trumpet Blast, oh my god, Doom Blast. Well, this is worth splashing green for sure. Wow, that's a really good card. This sort of makes me want to change what our deck is doing. And maybe go for more of a late game. Man, I can't believe that card's still in the pack. I guess it's only, 3rd pick, but still. It's unfortunate too, because I would like to pick up the Highspire Mantis here. And it's possible that I'm being too greedy with taking Dune Blast, but I think it's probably the best card in the format. Definitely in Sealed, not as positive in Draft with the new format. It's gotten a bit faster, so Dune Blast could have gone down in some picks, but I think it's enough better than Highspire Mantis, which is just a strong filler card to take it and see where it takes us with the fixing. Okay, nothing jumps out at me here, so I'm going to take the fixing. I don't really want to second Smite the Monsters, though it does go really well with Doom Blast. I don't really want to jump heavy into green. Well, probably not playing with this. So let's look at this real quick. If I do jump into green and give up red, I'd be giving up these cards. I could probably splash Heel Cutter. And this is what it would look like if I'm going Abzan. Yeah, I don't think I want to really give up. There's nothing in here that makes me really want to go green. I mean, the Tuskar Captain is good, but I think the fixing here is better. It would be good in both Mardu and Abzan, so. Oh my god. Well, this card's just insane. This really makes me think green is open, but it could just be that there's no green getting passed by us. I don't remember any notable green cards getting passed by us, so it's possible that all the green is just coming flowing this way, and I don't think it's really a reason to swish heavy into green at this point, because we're not really going to get a good return later on, and I'm hoping that red will come back the other way. And we have a perfectly fine pick here with Ponyback Brigade, so I'm just going to snap up Ponyback Brigade, and yeah. Don't need this land. Shambling Attendance is not bad, but removal is better. Okay, Raider Spoils. How good is that in our deck? So we have 1 warrior, 2 warriors, that's Berserker, Soldier, those are dragons. Is this a warrior? No, it's not. We could pick Raider Spoil since it's only 2nd pack, but I think I like the mana fixing here better. Skull Hunter is a fine card, but I think the mana fixing is better when we're trying to get cute with Doom Blast, which I still intend to do. I'm just going to pick up another Scoured Barrens, I guess. Do I want to Smite the Monsters? Is that bad? Yeah, I mean, we already have 3 lands, so maybe it's a bit. I'm going to go with the removal. We don't really have any other, and we got another Bloodfell. Well, definitely taking Bloodfell case here. There's nothing else that I'm even interested sitting here. I don't like Rush of Battle really at all. Um, it's just, yeah. I don't like that they can see what's coming. I like to have them guessing. So that was pretty easy. Trumpet Blast. Don't think I want two Trumpet Blast. It's possible we play the Kinshri Warden, I guess. It's just a creature. Am I going to play Howl of Horror? Well, I'm not playing any of these, so I guess it's worth it picking it up. If we get some cheap removal, it could go well with Howl of Horror. Actually, this is much better. I don't really like Siegecraft in our deck. We don't have any super cheap creatures at the moment. Or really any. Oh, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a decent amount of flyers, I guess. Siegecraft might make it in. I've never been a huge fan of it though, so take it with a grain of salt. Grim Harvespecs is where I want to go. Feat of Resistance is good, and it's sort of something we're missing in our deck, which is combat tricks. We have a decent amount of removal. Count that as removal. So right now we have Trumpet Blast. Yeah, we have Trumpet Blast. So, I mean, you could use these as tricks, I suppose, but I like being able to trump people's removal. I think Harvespecs is better. It's especially in a deck where we're trying to overwhelm them with creatures. At least that's what the goal is right now. I think Harvespecs is just a better creature. Plus, it's good to play these earlier creatures as well, since we don't really have a ton of creatures at the moment. Only 10. Really want to get rewarded with Red Gun this way, so Arrow Storm could be a pick here. I think the Kyrian is better. The Vigilance and Flying makes a really potent combination. We also could look at Sultai Scavenger. As I said with the Angler, we have a lot of removal that is probably going to wipe out our board. We have creatures that want to trade with the Scout and the Outcast, and having the Harvespecs, being able to refill our hands when we go into that mode. It's possible Scavenger is better, but I think this is more consistent. Disowned Ancestor could be, or could get looked at here too, but I'm just really trying to be red-white, splashing black. So I think I'm going to go with the Kyrian here. Aerostorm is good too, but we're already pretty stocked up on removal at this moment. Wow, the Battle Priest, that's probably the pick here. Feat of Resistance. I hate having to keep passing those because they're so good, but I think the Battle Priest is just insane. So if we draw the Outcast later, we can always put a counter on it and give it instant lifelink. The Sky Captain can give lifelink now. Falconer has lifelink. This guy could get flying off this. So yeah, I think that's it. Warname Aspirant, probably the pick here. Fills in our 2 drops, which we only have 1 of right now, and nothing else really jumping out. I don't want a 3rd Spite the Monstrous. Valley Dasher is pretty subpar. So, wow. Do we want the Blossoming Sands, or are we just going to give up on the Dune Blast? That is a question. Hordling Outburst is very good with our deck. That makes me want to use Trumpet Blast even more. Maybe we're just trying to be too cute with Dune Blast. Our deck really isn't set up to use Dune Blast well. And I don't really want to prioritize picking, 2 or 3 more green fixers, even if, what if I pick this and I don't see any more green fixing? Because I haven't seen any up to this point. So this could just be a wasted pick, end up not playing Dune Blast anyways, and I miss out on a Hordling Outburst. So I think it's a little risky at this point. I think we sort of missed our chance to, get Doom Blast into our deck. Flame Ward. Oh my god. Rewarded. There's another Blossoming Sand, but there's no way we could have known that. So I'm pretty okay with picking Hordeling Outburst, and the High Spire Manus came by, so that's a great pickup. Wow. And a Bring Low, which I'm pretty okay playing. I'm at 14 creatures right now. I could pick up a War Behemoth. Am I going to play another Bring Low? The question is, do I like Bring Low more than Smite the Monstrous? Because that would probably be the cut for me. Or maybe Arc Bond. I could side this in against a big deck and just bring in another Bring Low. I think there's going to be more of these coming around. I remember seeing some earlier on, so I'm going to take the Bring Low. Sure, Morph Creature. Wow, lots of Bring Lows. How many Bring Lows do you play? We're at 23 cards right now. Don't really want to play Arc Bond, even though I have zero experience with it. We do have Howl the Horde, which goes okay with Bring Low. I mean, that's 7 mana, and I don't really plan on getting up to 7 mana a lot. I mean, sure. I will take Summit Prowler here. We do have a ton of 4-drops, though. Don't really want to play Disowned Ancestor. I mean, I guess Disowned Ancestor is pretty good with the Falconer and the Battle Priest in our deck. Yeah, maybe we just play Disowned Ancestor. Sure. These picks are pretty unimportant. Just auto picks, so. Alright, so our deck, we need a cut. It's looking like 2 cards. Is this an 18 or 17 land deck? I also don't know if I want to play 3 Bring Lows. It seems like a pretty excessive amount. I can always take one out and then side one in against a deck that has tons of tricks and we want to sort of blow them out with a well-timed Bring Low. Or we just in a deck where we're just trying to trade 1 for 1 all day. That could be fine. I would like to have an even split, I think, with Spite the Monstrous and Bring Low. Our early drops are really lacking, unfortunately. That goes there, that goes there. Hopefully Gurmag Angler is gonna be like 3 2-drop or 2 or 3-drop. Collateral damage might be okay with all of our tokens too. 23 cards right now. We're pretty heavy on the 4s, so I definitely want to be playing 18 land. Let's split this up. Let's see. I like all of our creatures. I don't think I want to cut any, especially we're trying to be aggressive too. And well, he's not aggressive, but he combos well with our 2 lords, so I'm okay with him being in here. Well, I also like that Wording Aspirant works well with these 2 as well. Five removal spells. I'm okay with that. Hearth Sustenance is going to be really good in this deck. Pretty excited about playing it. Kind of wish we would have got one more Ponyback Brigade, but I don't even remember seeing another one that was even like a close pick. Even if it was in the in one of the packs, I think if I didn't even look at it, then there's most likely like some other bomb there. Also sad we're not playing Doom Blast, but I think that's just a little too greedy during the draft to try to waste picks on green lands in hopes that we're going to play it. Especially since we didn't even have any by the beginning to mid pack 3. I think we're just going to miss too many important cards for our deck that trying to fit this in is really want to do at this point. Maybe I want to go down one more since we have such a glut of 4 drops here. Just play, because I mean, Bring Low isn't amazing. You could always bring it in against Abzan decks too. Sort of, well, Smite the Monster is great against them also, so. Yeah, let's go down to one less. Alright, so this is our deck. We have good mana fixing. I think 4 is probably the sweet spot for the more aggressive decks, maybe 3. So pretty happy about that. We have 3, 2, 3. So 2 plains, 3 red, and 3 black. So we want to go up to 8, or maybe 7. Although black gets our splash. I don't know why it's so high with black right now. Let's see, this gives us 9. Oh, we have 9 right now with this, so we could go up 1 more. Let's remember this. I'll just add it. Sort color. Combine groups. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Although this guy could be just a colorless creature if we really needed it to. 6 black. Or sorry, yeah, 6. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 13, 10, 6. And most of our early drops are red and white. Tons of white here. Yeah, I'm okay with having 8, 8, and what was this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 6. That seems fine to me. Alright, so this is the deck. Going to group them separately and print screen. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys later.